Hello everyone, welcome to a bit of a surprise preview video. As usual, got us 2 divisions for free for our long waiting for Selfec to soften up the time till then. And everybody will get those for free in Reinforcement Pack 11, as those 2 divisions will be given to everybody, no matter if they have the Season Pass or they have the pre-order pack or anything. It will just be added to the game completely for free, and it adds 2 nations to the base game basically, and that is Belgium and the Netherlands, which are already in OFAC, so those nations also doubled in divisions now, both having 2 each. And the Belgians get the DivMob and the Dutch get the CLKA, both of these divisions being a mix of reservist and standard forces. And let's jump into them and let's talk about the Belgian one first. There will be a bigger patch or mid-sized patch with all of this as well, which we will go over in the video tomorrow. So if you don't want to miss that, like the video down below, subscribe, and yeah, be around tomorrow again. And with that said, let's get into it. And let's start with DivMob, which adds also a surprising amount of new models. Like really, the amount of new models is great. Starting with the Sea King here as a cool looking supply helicopter. The quality on the models is really good as well, with some nice insignias and descriptions here all around as well. Belgische Luftmacht on it. Danger in the rear here. Really good looking helicopter. We have the old Belgian APC here with the M75 PC as a leader. The balance might still change a bit, but most likely not that much. This is the recorded on the build that is supposed to go live, but maybe 1 or 2 things might still change for the live build. Bugs and so on could happen here. And then, yeah, we have Iltis, we have MX-13s, we have the Unimog, we have the lovely Volvo, which is a really big supply truck, 30,000 supplies, as it is a chunky truck, can carry a lot of stuff. So yeah, together with the Unimog here, really nice transport. And then we have the infantry tab, which is a wild mix. And it starts with a normal MG team. Then we have military police, which also has a rover with military police that has a little blue light on top. And then we have command pioneers, which just come with Uzis. We know these from 11th as well. Those are all not new units yet. MX-13 is not new here either. Pioneers, RL83. Those got a bit cheaper in the latest patches, so those are pretty solid infantry as well. 9 hit points helps out. And then we come to the first new unit, the Chasseur Ardennes. Nice solid formations, supposed to be around there in the Ardennes to prevent any World War II like breakthrough by the Soviets and so on. And these come with 8-man squad, 40 points, and security. And double MG, double medium machine gun, so a bit more firepower than the guys up here, for example. But medium machine gun, not light machine gun like the SAV Fallow here, for example, for the normal Fusiliers. So a solid infantry squad. And the security trade means that they are pretty nice on the flank as well. Availability decent as here too. And their leader actually has a long-range sniper rifle, which is an interesting setup as well. Smoke and a decent AT weapon. So yeah, solid little formation here too. Then we have the normal Fusiliers, which are first timers here as well. Leader is pretty good. 50 points for a big leader with a light AT weapon and a smoke grenade. Fusilier RL83, so you get a couple more of these guys around. With Blinderside RL83s and the normal Fusiliers with the Law, 5 points cheaper. Really solid anti-infantry unit here for 40 points. And then we have the reservist one, which is a bit more spammable and brings a good amount of hit points. And 2 as Saw Fallow, but as you can see now on the stats cards, reservist is now indicated on the stats, so these have a good bit less accuracy, and they have a really terrible AT weapon with the M20 Super Bazooka. So yeah, they are basically the KDA equivalent, only that they are only reservist and not the militia as well. And they come in these old M75 AIVs, we have a 50 cal on top at least, and these are not reservist, so they are actually pretty decent boxes. They are decently fast as well, and yeah, I wouldn't want to be 12 guys in this, but yeah, that's another story. And the infantry itself, yeah, can be quite nice, especially as you have enough military police, because next to the Privat up north, you up on the top here, you also get the gendarmerie, and these are pretty solid ones as well. No AT weapon also, but military police with 2 MGs. The submachine guns are pretty subpar, but the light support weapons are nice. There's also basically MP40s here that these guys are using, so that's really not great. And they also come in a beautiful Volkswagen T3 Gendarmerie, if you want to bring that around. And you can use a little transport here that gives them all your units military police. Or if you want to have something slightly more Warhammer-like, the BDX that also has smoke and 2 MGs on the turret. Likely the unit of choice here, as it is insanely fast off-road and faster on-road and only costs you 5 points more. But it is a really cool looking Volkswagen here. And this one maybe should even be 30 points, as it has double MG and smoke. So BDX currently maybe a bit underpriced. Then we have Milan 1s, Milan 2s, and Para Milan. As the last part of this is the forward deployment of the deck, and that comes in reserve Para Commandos. These come at low veterancy, but you can get 1 vet, and they bring 2 Saw Follow and a Plindicide RL100 and the Unimox as a transport with the Milan on top, so really good forward deploy. The Unimox also got down to 35 points now, so this one is a big buff to MNET, and this division really has a fantastic opener with this card as well. The Para Milan 2, yeah, nice there as well. So really solid power there around in this deck, and just a lot of infantry coming out of this tab. Artillery brings in some new models and new units as well. The 81mm mortar is not new, but we have an AMX 13 with an 81mm mortar unit that is new, with an open deck here that can shoot out of. And then we have an old M108 A2. This is a short barreled howitzer here, 105mm. Really short range for a howitzer like that, only 10 kilometers, but decent rate of fire. And you get 4 availability. You only get 1 availability on 2 vet though, so that's a bit unfortunate that it isn't 4-3-2, but 4-2-1 instead. Otherwise this could have been a really fun unit. This way around I wouldn't really use it, especially because you get other decent stuff as well. For example, the M44A1 155mm howitzer with big HE shell, short range again, but pretty affordable, and 3 rounds per minute. You get the same as a towed howitzer for 110 points. Solid gun as well. Not amazing though, but this one is actually not the same gun. This one is long range, so it's more accurate and can fire longer. So yeah, 110 is the right price point. And then we have a 203mm gun. And this one is actually pretty cheap for 120 points, but it also only has 2 rounds per minute. 18km range, 17km on its self-propelled variant. So not that big of a difference this time around. But yeah, 203mm with only 2 rounds per minute. But big boom and relatively cheap price for this caliber. The M55 maybe even could go a slight bit lower in price, but especially the 120.1 could be interesting here as an affordable way to do stuff. And then we have a couple more tanks that are pretty interesting. We have FN43RM as our little 60mm grenade launcher. They have demolition cannons. Though short range, they are loaded with high explosive charges and excel in destroying bunkers and entrenchments. And yeah, attacking infantry in open and cover, so they ignore cover with these. so they can hit infantry in buildings quite nicely. And then we have a 90mm gun on the same platform with 15 pen, low range, heat shell, 2 MGs, pretty cheap, and military police. So this can be an interesting little car that also helps out the rest of your tanks, because these guys down here are reservist. So the Kate here has a like leader of the herd, could be pretty important as well. Jagdpanzer we already know, the upgraded one of the Belgians with long range, but still low pen and low frontal armor, but decent stealth. Then we have this guy with a Milan inside. Yeah, decent little Milan launcher. You get 2 cards of them, great availability. Then the Striker, which is your hard-hitting one. Iltis Milan 2 can help out there as well. And then we have the M41 Bulldogs with high speed, 65km off-road speed, and a terrible gun, and low frontal armor. Yeah, 1925 meter, only 12mm of penetration, as it is a 70.6mm gun. It has a 50 cal, it is pretty fast, can push around, it is pretty cheap as well, so can do the job. And then if you want to have another old tank that is a bit heavier though, you get the M47. And that one has an okay 90mm gun here, 15 penetration, all is heat. This one is penetrating rounds actually, so 76mm also means if you can't penetrate, you can't penetrate. You can't deal damage to heavy tanks frontally. So this really is more of an infantry support and light vehicle hunter with 12 rounds per minute. And well, this one can also deal some damage to heavier tanks a bit. And if you have enough of these around for 55 points, you can get quite a lot of them. They actually can overwhelm other units a bit as well, though usually want to have some harder hitting ATGMs around with this as well. Recon, you get some patrol province, normal reservist unit here, Ickler with 6 men and the blind side, decent squad, can come in the M75, but this is not a recon vehicle, this is just a normal one, and it's slow, so I don't think you really want to. Alouette, Classic, Scorpion and Scimitar are here in low numbers as well, so you get a decent recon mechanized unit here. They are also really important to help your big tank plop running around. And then you get another left behind unit here, another one of the false flag units here with the SDRA-8, which brings around the Model 3011 sniper rifle and some M1 carbines and some MP40s for real, and some satchel charges. So this can fight infantry decently well. The M1 carbine stats may be a bit busted for what the M1 carbine is. It was a good rifle in World War II. Not quite sure it's really that good as a battle rifle, but it is what it is. And yeah, it's a relatively solid fighting force here. 10 hit points, but no AT does hold it back quite a bit. And then you get a Magister with rockets, so that can be helpful as well. Next, AA. That is pretty helpful too. You get Maxons if you want to. Can be helpful in infantry pushes. Outside of that, I wouldn't recommend using these guys. You get a double 20mm. That can be a good bit better against helicopter. Bofors with the better range, but it's a old Bofors here, similar to the French one, I believe, in stats. Or no, similar to the German one, but it's not the better Dutch one stat-wise, so not that great. You get the double or triple 20mm actually on a truck here. Yeah, this is a triple 20mm, so it's actually pretty decent. And the one on the truck is actually quite nice, hunting around, can help out against infantry as well. So this is pretty cool. Availability is fantastic as well. And then Paramistral with forward deployment, so same as an MNet, but low availability here holds it down a bit, but having forward deploy AA together with your forward deploy infantry is pretty key against helicopter openers and so on. And then 2 cards of Eyehawks. So that's where the Belgian Eyehawks went. And yeah, they're doing a good job here. Really key, really holding off. And the air tap is a bit more limited. You get some alpha jets from the Belgian Luftwaffe, and then you get the, oh, what was it again? Luchtmacht? Yeah, Luchtmacht. And then you get the alpha jet with big bombs or small bombs, the F-16AA that we all know and don't like because it has the old AM9Ps, but you could get 3 cards in this. The F-16A HE cluster that doesn't have RTOM missiles but has a great mix of bombs, and yeah, can go around with that. Though pretty, like, too pricey for what it does right now, especially as it only has 20% ECM with the Belgians. And then Mirage 5BA cluster, which you most likely going to take over this because, first of all, it has some RTM missiles, and it yeah, just hits a bit harder. 30% ECM, helpful there as well. So that's the first division. Let's switch over to the Dutch. And they come in as the CLKA, which is a pretty hot little division as well. Starting with some big trucks here. A 2000 supply truck and a 1000 supply truck. The DAF YA 4400 and the DAF YHZ 2300 Fracht and YPR coming in here as per usual, as it's a CV. Little Jeep here, all of them coming in as well. Not quite sure. This looks like an old World War II kind of Jeep, but not 100% sure. Is it a Rover? That's a Rover, right? I'm not 100% sure what kind of Jeep it is, but it comes around. And then we have the YP48 PVCO, the first one of these lovely little Dutch boxes. And those actually look surprisingly decent for a 1960s APC. And I have no idea why nobody else bought them. The only other nation to buy these is Portugal. And then Suriname got them from the Dutch when they got independence. But like, this is a really solid APC, no? Like, it has a good position for the 50 cal. It has a big area for the infantry. It has nice opening area, so you can dismount via the top, you can dismount via the rear. The rear doors are good as well. Like, why did nobody buy these? They look really good for the time. Smoke launchers here in the front and so on. I don't know. We will see them more, and I just wanted to point that out. Infantry tab is a wild mix here as well. For M40s, the Dragon ones are back, this time for 15 points. Maybe somebody gets baited into taking them this time. Infantry tab is pretty cheap, but not full card. ITO coming around here for the Dutch, so not quite TOW 2, but ITO instead this time around. Unfortunately, ITO is still not amazing, but it does the job here for availability. Then we have the Max 762, yeah, classic MG. We know this one. Then we have the Maréchaussee as our first little new unit here. A leader with a super bazooka. So yeah, this is the military police. They have a Rover KMAR as well, with the military police Königliche Maréchaussee coming around to be helping out with all the reservist unit. The normal ones can come in the same Rover. And then we have the Maréchaussee with MG that can come in a VW T3 as well, with big blue lights on top. So yeah, lovely little police truck there, helping out, keeping the morale up. And yeah, 11, the 12-man squad here, pretty interesting, but 11 Uzis, I'm not so sure about that part. The Bijbelingen coming in here with an interesting leader with another super bazooka, L4A4 brand gun, I believe, basically, or like follow-up of it, maybe based on the Czechoslovakian one. QZ6 of those once more around as well, so not that great. And then we have the Bijbelingen bringing more World War I weapon here with the Garand and the L4A4 and the Uzi. So nearly a World War II little infantry unit here. 9 hit points, security and reservist. A bit of a wild mix. No AT weapon. I wouldn't recommend using this. Then we have the Bavarian Mobile, which has a bit better weapons. 45 points, no reservist. And yeah, actually 3 machine guns. So this is actually a pretty good fire support squad. Like 10 hit points, 3 machine guns. This is a good anti-infantry infantry squad. So you should use it for that. And mix it in with your anti-tank infantry. And then you have your Nutress, which you already know from the 4th Division, which can come in now though in this cool YP48 PVI. So yep, I would take this over the YPR. It has 1 less side armor, but it is going faster on road and off road. 80 kilometers road speed, 70 kilometers off road speed, and it has smoke. So yep, it's a bit of a weird road speed. Like usually they have 90 or 100. This has a tank road speed like a Leo 2, but I take it. It's better than the 75 of the other one. And then the Res Genia coming in here as the militia reservist unit of this whole thing, with a Unimog, Mag, and Satchel Charge mix. That is pretty wild. 30 points is pretty cheap for an 8-man squad with Satchel Charges and 8 hit points, but yeah, outside of that, it isn't great. Then we have the Tankjägers. This is a pretty solid squad. 5 hit points, but 2 Carl Gustav. So Carl Gustav is not the best penetration, but it has max range. It has 55% accuracy, so that is solid. The UZs and the 2 files will not deal much damage, but this is something that you mix in with the Bavarian Mobile as anti-tank, and then like you have 1 of these with 3 of these, and then you have a lot of firepower and a bit of AT to keep the vehicles away. And they can come in this little vehicle as well. Then we have some Panzer Infantry. Unfortunately, not with the YPR, with the Oerlikon. Only the 50 cal variant in this one. We have the Law, we have the Carl Gustav, and the Dragon 1 variant here. All with the 50 cal one. Recoilless Rifle M48-1 on the truck is in this division as well. So if you want to have something like that, you can bring it. Then we have the normal infantry with YP48 PVIs coming around. Leader is a wild mix, 10 hit points, AT weapon and smoke, but the UC foul mix is a bit weird. But 10 hit points for 65 points with utility is still decent. The infantry with normal law is a 9-man squad with double MG. That's pretty good as well. 50 points is a fair price. And then the normal infantry has only 1 MG, but a Carl Gustav, so that's a nice decision here as well, which one to choose. And then we come to the Dutch special forces here. The Commando CMG coming in as the command one with 2 L4A4 and some UZs and a law and some smoke. So that's a solid utility leader, 8 hit points, can move around. And the commandos themselves are a fantastic squad. 70 points, no forward deployment, but 11 hit points, 2 MGs, and a scoped rifle with solid suppression damage. This is a damage dealer squad, if I've ever seen one. And yes, you don't get forward deployment with this division, but you get good power out of this. Artillery is pretty good as well. You get M270 cluster MLRS and an MR10, so really hard-hitting artillery. Get some light guns as well, with 155 and 105mm howitzers, both not the best of their class. Low rate of fire here, low range here, but you could get them, though usually you will use the other 2 units down here anyways. And then the tank tab is a good mix as well. You start with a tow little truck, the old tow, but this is decently spammable, decently cheap, can come around. Then you get a ITOW on the good YP48 little vehicle. 50 cal ITOW is a nice mix. Smoke is really key here as well. Good off-road speed. All goes pretty well. And if you need something heavier, you have the TOW 2 as well. So nice, like, evolvement of the ATGMs. You can't pick all 3 because you don't have the slot, but you have 3 good cards. And the tanks go the same way. You get a really good light tank with the Centurion Mark 5 II. Great pen, good frontal armor, really slow speed, slowest speed of all tanks, 35 km/h off-road, but it has a good gun, and that's pretty key. Like 17 pen is pretty good. The 45% accuracy is meh, but 9 rate of fire, 17 pen is nice, 10 frontal armor is nice as well, and it has smoke, which you don't get on the T55s or so. So good utility light tank. You could then get the Leo 1V, which is a 2100 meter range Leo. So that's a new kind of Leo here as well. 55% accuracy, 35% motion accuracy, not the greatest, but yeah, the 2100 meter range is an interesting one. You get the leader variant of these as well. So the Leo 1V here, nice middle of the bunch upgrade between the Leo 1A1 and the 1A5s that we have of the Belgians and West Germans. Then you also get one card of the heavy boys, Leo 2A4Bs. That's just the one with the better shells, but and the better gun, but still the low frontal armor. So it still gets one-shotted frontally by air ATGMs, but you have a hard-hitting tank in this one. And that with the cheap infantry spam and a lot of APCs and good artillery can get you quite far. Recon Tab is a good one as well. Alouette is doing its job. BO105 with minigun can come around with minigun if you want. The YP48 also has an exceptional optics variant, and with smoke, 50 cal, and the good speed, that's just a really solid recon vehicle. Yeah, cheap for it as well. You have a military police 50 cal recon vehicle with very good optics, with the MR13 CV KMAR. No Ehrlichen on this one, like on the CV that we will sell down here, but 35 points is cheap. Military police could be helpful as well, and it just looks really Warhammer as well with that blue. So that's cool as well. And all these little windows and guns mounted around. And Verkenners with a new old M1919 Jeep here, and Alouettes if you want to bring them around. And Panzer Verkenners that come in with 7 hit points and a Carl Gustav. So really good infantry squad to push it in 8 hit points actually, 1 MG, 7 ones, and you have an M113A3 A1 Verkenners with smoke as well that has good optics, so that could be a nice combo too if you can go a bit slower. And the M113 CV with the Ehrlichen is a fantastic little autocannon as well that gives you at least 4 autocannons in this deck, which is a nice utility that you don't get out of anywhere else. So great addition there too to the tab. And then we get a bit of American involvement from the flying forces in the AA tab. But first of all, more Maxons here, just like the Belgian one. Not good for AA, but helpful with pushing forward into infantry. The Bofors here is the better one with more range. So modernized one, good accuracy. Solid option here, helping out against helicopter and aircraft with the long range. Yeah, can really play its role here, as there's no cheetah to take its game away. And Stinger doing a solid job as well. You can go with 5 cards for pure Stinger if you want to. OH58C2 if you want to have a AA helicopter opener. And then Hawks, 2 cards as well, so you can really lock down the airspace with this one as well. So yeah, these 2 divisions really add to NATO's air defense for team games as well, with both having 2 Hawk cards. And the helicopter tab is minimalistic, but actually pretty good. You get 2 cards of Hawks from the Americans, and the German help you out with 1 card of BO105 Par 1 as well. So that's the perfect mix of helicopter. 1 great anti-infantry and fast flying one, and 1 fantastic anti-vehicle one with the BO105 Par 1. So yeah, it's a limited helicopter slot tab, but it's exactly what you want out of it. And the air tab is a good one as well. You get good bombers. You get the HE NF5A. Get the naval one, not so great. Cluster one, pretty good. You get a Phantom with long range missiles. Some Phantom with 2s here coming up. You get a Wild Weasel card, so you can go air superiority. You get an American cluster card. and the pretty solid 6 missile AM9L F-16A AA2. So this is a fantastic air tab. You can't really fill all of this into it, but you have good choices here. And that means both of these decks really, they should be pretty good all-rounders for 1v1. They are on the lighter end, but I think they're a really good roster addition to the base game, where NATO's only like lighter division was TKS, which plays a good bit different. Like, I guess the DivMob is somewhat similar, but this here is pretty different. And they are really just a nice addition to the roster and a good level up to the base game value, adding 2 new nations there for everyone to play and getting a grip of if they want to add Norfac to their playstyle or not. And yeah, I'm looking forward to the patch as well. There are some cool additions there too. We're going to talk about that. Some new traits and so on, some new maps. So we're going to talk about all of that tomorrow. And if you don't want to miss it, once more, see it down below. See you all there. Thanks for watching.